Essence family, I'm your host, Dana Blair, and welcome to Essence Live, your go-to destination for our stars, our styles, and our lives. We have a jam-packed episode featuring Essence Festival performers and alum, but joining me right now is someone who truly needs no introduction. From The Cosby Show to hanging with Mr. Cooper, That's So Raven, and of course to now co-hosting The View. We've watched her grow up on our TV screens. Raven-Symone is here. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure to see you. I feel like I've grown up with you.
We've grown up together.
We've grown up together. We've blossomed together. Congratulations on your permanent seat on The View.
Thank you. I'm very excited about it.
As we mentioned a little bit earlier in the intro, you've always selected these roles very carefully, and you've always selected iconic roles. So from Olivia on The Cosby Show and Olivia on Empire, which we'll get to in a few. That's So Raven, as well as Broadway. What made The View a good fit for you?
I liked the panel. I meshed well with the women on the panel. I liked the behind-the-scenes family, and to me that is ultimately the end-all be-all. If I'm in the script, obviously, but since it's live and it's just my thoughts, you never know what's happening, so I don't have to worry about that this time. But if there's good background, I call it upstairs and downstairs cast and crew, down for the cause. Because if you have a good cast and crew, you have a good show.
Right, and that good energy.
And you can see it on screen. We had a great cast and crew through all of the different shows that I've been on over the years. And the ones that I didn't have a good cast and crew on didn't make it on camera.
Well,
I will be honest, those pilots did not work. So you keep it pushing.
I understand that, and you mentioned you're sharing your opinions. So we're going from scripted to now hosting. Were you nervous about being on that platform? Because it's a very opinionated group of women, and in the past you've received some criticisms for your opinions. Was there any trepidation, or were you nervous in any way taking on that?
I wasn't nervous per se. My mom gave me some good advice. She was like, opinions are like a-holes. Everyone has one.
That is true.
And so I have my own, and I respect others as well. I think I feel very comfortable with them, so I'm okay expressing my feelings. And since I did my little retirement before I chose to be on the show, I got comfortable with my own personal thoughts, because when you're in the industry from 3 to 27 and the only thing that you're allowed to say is promotion for the show that you're doing and the words that somebody else writes to you, you automatically think that your own thoughts are kind of not in tune with things, and sometimes they're not in tune with things, and I'm okay with that. But sitting on the panel with Whoopi and Nicole and Rosie, they understand me. And that makes it easier.
And so that's helped you deal with the critics more, just saying, you know what, this is me, this is just
It's just me, and I never, ever, I don't think I've ever said it, who knows what I've said, because people mess up their words, but I don't think I've ever said, I'm speaking for an entire people.
Right.
I've never said that out of my mouth.
No one's actually ever said that.
No one's ever said it. People just take it upon themselves to think that we say that, but I don't think I am. I'm only speaking for myself through my own experiences, because my experience is different than yours.
That is
so
true.
How can I speak on your behalf?
And because they are your experiences, they're authentic to you, and that's your point of view, and you're lucky to have a great platform to share it on.
Very lucky.
Definitely. Do you have any wish list guests for The View? Anyone that you can't wait to get in the hot seat?
There's so many people, and when people ask me that, I always blank, because it's a long story, but there are so many people in the industry that I haven't met, that I haven't worked with. And yes, I don't know the names right now, but yes, there's a lot.
There's a lot, no problem. So I'm going to transition back to the Olivias,
the Olivias, the O2s.
of Raven-Symone. I mean, Empire. It took over pop culture, entertainment, social media. It was in everyone's living room.
It's an atomic bomb.
Every week, and you played Olivia. Was that a nod to your Cosby Show character, or just a coincidence?
It was a coincidence.
Really?
Even though I don't believe in coincidences, but it was definitely a coincidence, and it came about so abrupt that, they didn't have any time to think it was me. Like, they called me one day, and then literally 2 days later I was on set working. So
that's amazing.
I think they wrote the character even before they knew that I was up for doing anything on TV. Working with that family as well has been genius. Jussie and Asmarie, they're friends forever and partners. So just being on that set and seeing magic in motion and a quick turnaround for it, because, on That's So Raven, we filmed a lot, and then it aired later, so I didn't really get to see the big turnaround all the time. It's amazing what that show has done, and they're starting their new season now, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen, and Cookie better steal it, honey.
Do you have any scoop you can give me on season 2 as I lean in?
Girl,
that's my journalism.
Do you have any scoop? I haven't gotten the contract yet. Let's talk about it. Please. No, I'm just playing.
I'm going to say go ahead, do the shout out if you want to.
Can I come back on your show?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. You can always come back. And it was such a great departure from seeing you, like we've seen you in some very Girl Next Door and very, I don't want to use the word commercial, but you almost kid-like roles. And so it was really nice to see that departure for you.
There's another role that I did actually, and it's on a independent film called A Girl Like Grace that Ty Hodges directed and has Garcelle Bouvet and Megan Good. And you think Olivia was a hot mess. This girl, she's evil.
Okay.
She's evil, and it was fun to play. But the story itself of the movie is spectacular and tremendous, and I think resonates with what's going on in our younger community.
Awesome. And I want to ask you, because not many, you're extremely successful. And as you mentioned, we've watched you grow since the age of 3 under a public eye and in an industry that can be not so nice. So
Understatement, sweetie, understatement.
Well, you know, you're on TV. One of the most successful talents, male or female, to come out of Disney.
Thank you.
And you did it with your clothes on, if you will. You weren't over-sexualized. You did it. Oftentimes we see young talent kind of go to the farthest end of the spectrum to show that I've now grown up. But we watch you go through puberty and now a young woman and an entrepreneur. Was that a conscious decision, or was that something that you may have, I don't know, even received some pushback on from the industry, like we need to see this or that to show that you've grown, so to speak?
I think it was instilled in me at a very young age, and being that I wasn't the skinniest person at a young age, I don't think nobody tried to push me to sex pot at the size that I was, even though I was sexy to myself.
You sexy girl.
I was sexy to myself.
You were sexy.
And you know, everybody wants to feel like sex is going to grow you up, but I don't believe that to be true personally. I believe knowledge and experiences, traveling, and conversations, disagreements, and debates help grow you up. But like you said, being in this industry, you only get a certain way to show your growth. Right. When everybody still wants you to be 7.
And in very limited amounts of seconds and times, and that can be chopped up. And
there you go. And you better know how to work the system, because you get it in and you got to get your money and get out.
Right.
Like,
I understand
that's one thing we do know how to do as kid people. Get our money and get out.
So, and I also recall, I believe it was in the Oprah interview, where they did a look back and talked about going forward, and you mentioned that maybe Black Twitter would be upset with you. Do you still feel that Black Twitter is upset with you?
I don't even pay attention. Somebody else told me that they were mad. I don't read it. I don't know. Again, and I say this to this girl that I met the other day at a photo shoot who came to me and was like, I don't like what you said about Black people. I only speak for myself. Only for myself. I'm sorry that you're mad about how I feel. But, you know, there's so many things going on in the world. I think people kind of just need to look at the bigger picture and how we need to grow as a society, because we're on this earth together.
That is true. And before we wrap up, is there going to be any more music from Raven-Symoné?
I'm always working on something, right? Yes, there's going to be more music, but not as you would think, and not what you would think it would be. I've done pop, I've done R&B-ish pop. No, didn't really. I mean, I went on tour.
You've done
I had
Broadway.
A wonderful tour. That's not an album.
That's true.
That was amazing. That's not my album. That album. We're gonna work it out this time. It's a totally different world that I'm going to be dealing with.
And you've done so much. Is there anything that you're like, you know what? That's on my list. Maybe down the road, one thing you're like, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do that.
Have a baby.
Okay.
I would love to just be a human and be a mom. As for work, bring it on. I'm down for whatever. I've done news. I've done, I've been a cow, literally, like with a snout and a tail. What else you got?
I understand, and that's a great approach to have. So thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat with us. Again, congratulations on such a great seat on the Rio.
Congratulations to you and your seat.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and you have to come back. You have to come back.
Will do.
All right.